Da-da-da-da! What's happening, guys? It's Monster Chappie. We're back today for some more Battlefield action. In today's video, we're going to be using the AKU-12. And this right here is another bad boy Carbine that I really enjoy using. And this thing right here is beastie. It does get the job done at close range, medium range, and sometimes long range. It's one of the more versatile, carbines in my opinion, at least from my experience using it. And right here, just look at this auto aim. Gosh dang it. You got the auto aim feature, and of course it wants to shoot the mortar instead of the guy in front of me, and I'm just like, gosh. But hey, that's going to happen as part of using the auto aim. I've been toggling that on and off, just trying to figure out which I prefer better. Do I like it on? Do I like it off? I don't know. Just kind of between the two right now. I've been going back and forth a lot. Probably a bad idea to go back and forth since it does affect your shooting quite a bit. But either way, man, definitely, just a setting to think about turning on and off. You may prefer it on, you may prefer it off, just depends on you. And that's definitely another setting to look at. Now, another thing I want to talk about is if you're on the PS4 or the Xbox One or 360 or PS3, this is a setting that not a lot of us think about, I don't think. I mean, some of us do. I know it's not one that I didn't think about right away, but just recently I was just like, this is one that PC gamers, they're already on top of this, but your actual TV settings, like, not the brightness and the in-game settings, but your actual, menu, your remote control for your television, those settings for your actual television, what settings do you have those for your visuals? Because you can see a lot more and see a lot crispier details and see players and see, objectives and those types of things a lot better if you change those up. I know for Madden, I just had my screen bright as heck. It was just way too bright for Battlefield. And once I changed it up, I was able to see quite a bit better. And even though, you're not going to see that difference, obviously, here on the screen, you're going to see it as it is. As the game's being played, but when you have the settings change on your screen and you got something like brightness too high, or you got too much contrast, or not enough brightness, or whatever it is, whatever setting it is, you got it too much or too low, it's gonna maybe not have a huge effect on your gameplay and how effective you are in the field. But I think it can have a slight change and a slight effect on your gameplay, and seeing guys in bushes and just seeing them versus not seeing them, seeing guys laying down and those types of things, those guys that are in those tricky spots. And also your reticle, whenever you're using like the Cobra sight, you'll notice that if your brightness is too high, you're barely ever going to see the red dot on the Cobra. Especially if you're on a brighter map, whereas if you have the brightness at appropriate level and you got all those things right, you'll have a better chance at seeing it. Now, obviously the Cobra is not the best sight to have in a super bright map, but that's just kind of thing. Give yourself a better chance of seeing it, and give yourself a better chance of being more accurate and just being on the money. You don't want to be missing targets just because you can't see, just due to the settings on your screen. So, be sure to change those. I know I've talked about it for a minute now. We're going to go ahead and keep it moving, but that's just one thing I changed recently that has actually helped me out quite a bit. I'm not going to say it has a huge impact on my KD or nothing like that, but it definitely has benefited me in quite a few scenarios. And if there's a couple times that it saves you, it's worth it, because those couple times could be the difference between winning and losing just because of map positioning. And if it's a close match, definitely map positioning, people being able to spawn on you, those types of things. Staying alive is so crucial for your team, especially when you're playing a game mode where your squad mates can spawn on you. So that's critical to having a lot of success. Now, back to this AKU-12. As you can see, we're unlocking things along the way, getting a few different game modes going. Obviously, it's a Carbine, so we're going to need to, try to keep the engagements a little bit closer, or medium close medium in that area somewhat. And that's going to give us the best success. Over there, we got another guy on this roof, just trying to clear out this rooftop. Thought that was an enemy. Hey, man, don't run up on me when I see a spawn beacon over there. Of course, I'm going to think it's an enemy at that point. But on this map, man, you definitely got to keep those rooftops clear And if you go up there with something automatic, most of the time you're going to be okay. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 guys up there that does have an automatic rifle or something automatic up there. But most of the time it's going to be sniper. So as long as you're effective and just don't run into them like an idiot or a chicken with his head cut off, you should be fine. You know, go up there, shoot them, and shoot them. Don't just run. Just get up there, take your time, shoot them, use the cover that you can. And you know, you should be able to clear out the rooftop relatively easily for the most part. And that's usually true for most rooftops. There's usually 1 or 2 guys that's not a sniper, and then the rest are snipers. So you should be able to do okay and take out a few of them in a row, and definitely help out your team a bunch from getting hit from above. You know, it sucks getting hit from up top because you really can't do too much about it unless you go up there and do something about it, or unless you get an angle, a good angle to hit your enemies. Because, you know, if you're on top, you start getting hit, what do? You just back up away from the edge of the roof and you're good, or you just lay down and you're good, and you can just, you know, throw down an assault med pack, or you can just chill there, find your target, and then go ahead and wait for your health to regenerate and go ahead and pop out and shoot them, and you end up winning that battle. So that's the advantage of the rooftop and having those good angles up there. But geez, back to this AKU-12 again. This gun right here, man, as we throw a grenade like an idiot, this gun right here is real nice, man. I really like this. This is probably one of my favorite carbines to this point. It just is a very good weapon. It can just do a little bit of everything. I feel like the recoil is not high at all. It's very controllable. You can get some nice distant shots, as far as not long range, but good medium distance shots, kind of like the Type 95B, and I think it's even more effective at range than the Type 95B. And I like weapons that are versatile. I'm just one of those types of players where I'm going to be in a lot of different engagement distances throughout a map and throughout a round. So I'm the type of player where I'm going to have some close range, I'm going to have some medium range, and I'm going to take some distance shots. I like hitting people at various distances. So that's something I look for in a weapon, something that's versatile, something that can do a little bit of everything. And the AKU-12 is definitely one of those weapons that gives you that option and that benefit. And you know, once you get used to it, you get used to the kickback, get used to those things, you're definitely going to have a whole lot of fun with it. But I definitely recommend it, and one that I would recommend you trying out. But that's going to wrap it up for my commentary. Got a little bit of extra gameplay for you here. And again, man, if you haven't tried out that AKU-12, I definitely recommend doing so in the near future. And as always, be sure to use that cover, be sure to use that mini-map, be sure to use the two together, and it's going to lead to you having a lot more success, a lot less deaths, a lot more kills, and being a lot more effective for your team, regardless of the game type that you are playing. But that's it, man. Definitely try out this AKU-12. Very versatile weapon. As far as the attachments I like for it, either going to go with the Cobra or the this sight that you see here. And otherwise, far as the other attachments, as far as the barrel goes, you can use the muzzle brake. One thing I was experiencing was when I didn't use any barrel at all, I was having quite a bit of success there and kind of rocking the angled grip. Or else you could always go with the good old-fashioned, you know, potato grip as well. That's never a bad option. But I definitely liked the angle grip on this gun quite a bit. So, you know, try out the angle grip on a few guns. I've been trying that out with a few guns lately and having a lot more success with it. And definitely there, it's a lot of fun. So a lot of fun right there. Instead of just using the muzzle brake and the potato grip all the time, mixing it up, use that angle grip, man. I definitely have had more success kind of lately with the angle grip than anything else, and it's definitely a very nice grip. So one I'd recommend for this gun for sure. But that's going to wrap it up for me in this video again as far as commentary goes. And hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, be sure to subscribe for more, man. Got a ton more Battlefield content coming out, as well as 2K and Madden, and we will be talking about the Super Bowl coming up here soon, as well as some other topics going around in the world. So that's it. Peace out. Love y'all. We gone.